He's back. Back to the 90s, we meet Arnold again in his most recognizable role. I think everyone knows the Terminator, a movie watched a gazillion times, but playing a good game from this universe is like seeing a Yeti. I've been waiting a long time for an interesting game with Terminators to come out. In the 90s it was all crap, garbage and bullshit. But how does this new old school game look? Well, I'd say pretty good. I'm Uncle Bob and I welcome you to my review. I love 2D shooters. As a kid I played Contra, Stargate, Demolition Man, Alien and Robocop vs Terminator. But unfortunately, there was no title with the Terminator in the leading role, because the one from NES, I remain silent about that one. 34 years after the movie was released, this title, Terminator 2D No Fate, is finally here. It's the game I've been missing. I get to run around as pixelated Arnold and blast his mechanical brothers. Right? Right? Oh yes, it's going to happen. We run, jump, shoot. The controls are very smooth. We enjoy moving around and taking out opponents. At higher difficulty levels, we need to have super fast reaction times. Because enemies sometimes shoot before we even see them. So good controls are a must, and I think they are well done. We begin our adventure as Sarah, who trains her son to become a great leader. It's a stage combined with a bit of a tutorial. Although there are no complicated controls or systems in this game. We have a button for shooting, a button for close combat, later grenades, a button for sliding, and a button that, when held down, allows us to stand in place and shoot around us. The beginning is alright. Then we go to a computer factory, where they are working on the Terminator. In the movie it was mentioned that she ended up in the mental hospital, because she tried to blow up the factory. This is an extension of the story known from the movie, and it was presented to us. I really like this idea, because it gave us the opportunity to add a few stages that go beyond the movie. At that point I was excited by the fact that there would be a lot of stages, because now that we are going through the events from before the movie, later we will also visit the location known from the screen. Well, and at the beginning I was very disappointed. When I played the game for the first time, the perfect moments to control T-800 were simply ignored. Action in a shopping mall? No. Action during the building blowing up? No. The iconic scene of Arnold standing in the window with a minigun? No. The final fight with the T-1000? Of course not. The events from the movie were treated as a background to the story of Sarah and John. Yes, apart from Sarah, we also control John in the future. These levels are also cool. The atmosphere of the future war with Terminators, which we destroy with a plasma rifle while running through the ruins of the city, is awesome. I don't understand why there still isn't a movie presenting war with machines, in such a heavy dark atmosphere as was presented in the first two Terminator movies. Returning to the game, I felt a huge sense of regret due to the lack of the above-mentioned stages, which are so crucial and ideal for recreation in the game. I didn't understand the decision to do this, and I still don't understand it, although now from a different perspective. After completing the game for the first time, you unlock the ability to make decisions at 2 points in the game. The first choice is between resetting the T-800 chip, so that it can start learning as it did in the movie, or leaving it untouched in read-only mode. If we choose the alternative path, we'll jump onto a slightly different storyline and encounter new stages. And these are the stages that I missed during my first playthrough. Tough, not all of them, but most importantly, now we get to control Arnold while blowing up the building and stand in the window with a Gatling gun. I don't understand the developer's decision to hide these levels behind an alternative path, when they are normal events known from the movie. Why aren't they available right away? I don't know, the alternative path should have completely new events, such as the one we are getting now, where Sarah escapes from the police station. A strange decision, and unfortunately not the only one. Another poor solution is the issue of lives, or rather continues. For example, we have 5 lives and we've reached the boss. If we lose all of them trying to defeat him, we can't load the save game to try again from the beginning of the map. Oh no! If we use up our continues, the game save is deleted, and we have to start the game from the very beginning. So in case of death, it's better to just go to the main menu and load the game again. Then we start the map from the beginning, keeping all the lives we've earned for the very end of the game. I am not a fan of this solution. I get the impression that something here wasn't fully thought through. The whole point of gaining lives is a bit pointless, and the whole energy system could be more polished. My next complaint about this game is that there aren't enough enemies. It's not about variety, but quantity. I think the game's potential hasn't been fully used. There aren't enough maps with more action, and we use the other weapons we find here and there too little. Some maps are too short or too empty. Of course, I'm not talking about all stages, but we often encounter only one enemy or two at most. The graphics are masterful. We are looking at beautiful pixel art maps with extremely smooth character movements. This is the highest level of pixel graphics possible. It's beautiful. The backgrounds are extremely detailed. We see screens displaying data, lights, wrecks, buildings, all kinds of trash and junk. The screens filled to the edge with beautiful details. Only that T-1000 doesn't look like itself. I tried to recognize Patrick here, but unfortunately instead of him, I see Cromarty from the Sarah Connor Chronicles. The sound is perfect, with original music from the movie as well as awesome remixed tracks. The game is fully licensed with all the songs featured in the movie, so it's no surprise that the catchy tunes are a joy to listen to and make us want to keep going. By the way, is this one of the best games based on a movie? Without a doubt, the source material has been used with respect. In addition to the main game mode, we also have the option to fight all the bosses in Boss Rush. A survival mode, although I think this could have been done better, and a Mother of the Future mode. The last one is unnecessary in my opinion, as it's just playing through all the maps where we control Sarah. There is no storyline, no new levels, nothing has been changed or added. Some complain that the game can be completed in 30 to 40 minutes. By today's standards of content and price, this is a ridiculous result. But I didn't see it that way. I wasn't expecting a 4-hour campaign, but rather a maximum of an hour to complete. Having grown up on games from the 80s and 90s, I have it encoded in my brain that this is normal for this type of game. As a kid, I would save up my pocket money for 6 months to buy a game and then play it every day, trying to get through a difficult level. It was similar here. I started the game right away on the highest difficulty level available from the start. I played some maps several times because a boss was beating me up and took me a while to learn the strategy of dodging bullets. It took me about 4 hours to complete the game, mainly because of the last level and the final boss. This is not a new game released in the old style, it is an old game released in modern times. I think that's the best way to describe this title. I give the game a rating of 4 out of 5. Unfortunately, in my opinion, something was missing for it to get the maximum score. At first, after completing the game for the first time, I was thinking of giving it a 3 out of 5 rating, due to the lack of key maps portraying movie scenes, the imperfect health and continuous systems, and the lack of better use of weapons found. But the situation was saved by the fact that the next playthrough unlocked the ability to shoot as the Terminator himself. And in the end, I appreciated this production, because it is more than just an average game. After 8 hours of gameplay, unlocking and completing everything, I still feel that something is missing here, and I'm resistant to giving it the maximum rating with a clear conscience. Nevertheless, it is one of the best Terminator games to ever come out, and I highly recommend it. That's all for today. I'll be back.